I genuinely think the greatest distraction in life is competition. Think about it this way. When you're competing, you're not focused on being the best version of yourself. You're simply focused on being a version that is good enough to beat the person next to you. And that's why I always say to my coaching clients, don't compete, dominate. A lot of you are stuck, distracted, looking to the left, looking to the right, and what you're not realizing is you're allowing other people to set the parameters of what you deem to be greatness. And that's not what leaders do. Leaders don't look for external validation and external parameters to see how far they should go. Instead, they go internally and they compete against themselves. You are your own greatest competition, and it's important to understand that as long as you're looking externally, you'll always be distracted, thinking that you're doing what you should be doing, and realizing at the end of the day you allowed society to set the parameters for you. I remember having a conversation with one of the kids that I coached, and he was in matric and he was a head boy, and he was doing quite well, getting straight A's and things like that. And I asked him a simple question: do you really think this is your best? And he looked at me and he said, "Coach, no, it's not my best." But the funny part about it is everybody around him was glorifying him. Everybody around him was saying how great he is. And there were even parents who were saying to other kids, "I wish you were like that person." And I said to him, the reason why everybody's glorifying is because you're a big fish in a small pond. If we threw you into the ocean, you would realize there's more to you. There's more to extrapolate out of you. And a lot of you've allowed the accolades of external voices to minimize your growth and make you think like you've made it because you're beating everybody else around you. But what if they're not in your standard? What if they're beneath your standard and you're allowing that benchmark to define for you your levels of greatness? So champion, you cannot get stuck in a competitive mindset. You must be absolutely driven to dominate your space, to say there's nobody who's going to do this better than me, not just in my town, not just in my province, not just in my country, but in the world. I'm going to dominate this space in a global platform. And that's the mindset that you must take into every single day of you doing what you do. I'm passionate about what I do, but I don't want to just be passionate about it on a small scale in my country. I want to be a global speaker. I want to impact the world. I want to impact millions and millions of lives. And for that, I need to work on my craft every single day and place hours and hours on demanding that I do better than I did yesterday. There are some people who think that I've made it. There are some people who think that I'm good. And I always come back and I'm like, but there's more. Why? Because I'm not competing with anybody, but I want to dominate who I am. I want to dominate my space. So the last point is D. D stands for dominate. When it comes to our lead acronym, you need to dominate your space and make sure you don't get stuck in the ever destructive cycle of competition. And if you can get this right, like I said, L, make sure that you're learning. E, make sure that you're evolving. A, make sure every single day you're taking the actions that are required. And when you're taking those actions, you dominate the space that you're in. And that's how you ensure that you're starting to lead yourself. And if you can effectively lead yourself, champion, then you'll be able to go out into that world and lead the world and the spaces that you are put into leadership positions in. It's Coach T saying, make sure before you lead them, you lead yourself by understanding this acronym and putting it into practice. Hi champions, thank you so much for watching our content. Remember to leave us a like if you like the content. Make sure you drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next videos. And hey, make sure you share this with your friend. Let's impact the world together. So thank you so much champions. See you next week.